Have you ever looked at the state of politics in your country and chatted with your friends about how you should totally start your own political party? Well, in Latvia, doing so is possible, provided that you can come up with a name, a symbol, 27 euros and 3 cents, and so long as your friend group has at least 200 Latvian citizens in it. My name is Walter, and I welcome you to Politics Far From Home, where we'll take a look at the intricacies of party creation in Latvia. You may recall how in a previous video I mentioned the sheer number of parties that regularly get made and dissolved in the country. There's even a classic saying, where there's 2 Latvians, there's 3 parties. Of course, in reality, with a minimum number of 200, that means at most, the country could currently have like 9,376 parties, so take that, idiom. That membership requirement is the first and biggest hurdle for forming a party. Most parties start off as various unions, clubs, and interest groups first, while still in the process of acquiring enough members to make that big move. Getting people together like this is no easy task, and oftentimes trying to create a party can take years of work and never amount to anything in the end. There are of course plenty of different reasons and justifications for creating a party. Sometimes a party will form to fill in a vacant niche in politics, such as the Progressives, moving in seeing no clear-cut left-wing progressive party in Latvian politics. Other times a party will form further on the wings of existing political movements, as the recently formed ultranationalists in Rising Sun form off the backs of members removed from National Union for being too right-wing, which, by the way, is putting it very lightly. Other parties will rise to embody new ideas or approaches in existing political movements, often at the hands of established politicians, such as Zatler's Reform Party or For Latvia's Development at the initiative of Ainars Repše. In fact, one of the most common ways for a party to be formed is through the ambitions of a single individual. KPLV with Artūrs Kaimiņš or LPV under Ainars Šlesers, to name just a few examples. Another interesting point to mention would be a party like United List, which formed at the behest of Uldis Pīlāns, despite him not being a member of the party in an official capacity. He was still their candidate to become the president in the last election, though. Perhaps the easiest way for a party to form, so to speak, would be just that, uniting existing groups and parties. In fact, the 4 parties holding the most seats in our current government are all party unions. New Unity contains unity and regional parties for Kuldīga, Tukums, Valmiera, and Jēkabpils. The Union of Greens and Farmers, which currently consists of the Farmers Union, the LSDSP, and regional parties for Daugavpils and Ventspils. The aforementioned United List, combining Pīlāns' own interest group with the Greens, Regional Union, and Liepājas Party, the Greens and Liepājas Party having left the Union of Greens and Farmers, by the way. And the National Union, which technically exists as a singular party, but was formed as a union of Everything for Latvia and the pre-existing union of For Fatherland and Freedom, LNNK. Essentially, it seems that in Latvia, the larger the bloc forming your party and the greater number of interests it represents, the more successful you tend to be by default. The exact requirements for forming a party member-wise are as follows. 200 members must be Latvian citizens, and in any party with a size over 400, at least half need to be Latvian citizens. To become a member, you need to be a member of no other party, at least 18 years old, and either a citizen of Latvia, an alien within Latvia, or a citizen of the EU residing within Latvia. This 200 members number is only the first requirement to even go through the party creation process, and to run in local elections. In order to then run in Saima, though, the party needs to have existed at least for a year and to have acquired 500 members. Next step, once you have the people, but more realistically probably before you hit that magic number, is to decide on name, symbol, and color. In short, your party name and symbol need to be unique and unmistakable for another party, so ideally if you have a party called the Democratic Union, you can make a rival party called the Union of Democracy. Also, you need to have a unique party abbreviation. For example, because the party name Saskaņa, or Harmony, already has the abbreviation of the letter S, the Stability Party has to settle for the abbreviation ST. Symbols and names also can't be profane, vulgar, contain references or reverence to, or outright share a name with, military organizations, paramilitary groups, or any parties hostile to the nation. The name can't be intentionally deceptive to the party's activity, a little underdefined as a rule in the law, but I'm gonna go ahead and say you can't call yourself the monarchist party of Latvia, and then oppose a monarchy of any kind. And finally, the party name can't include the terms Republic of Latvia, nation, municipality, the names of existing government institutions, or any symbols other than letters of the Latvian alphabet. Lastly, there's a party color to be chosen, a more informal decision not included in the party law of Latvia. Since picking the same color or nearly the same color is totally possible, you get moments like the election map looking like this. Look me dead in the eye and tell me you know how many parties are represented on this map. Leave the color red alone. I know you want to use the flag's colors, guys, but can someone just please pick white? Anyway, the final step to formalizing the creation of a party is something called a founding meeting, or dibināšanas sapulce in Latvian. Under the supervision of a notary, the founding members of the party gather in a single place to agree to formalizing the party, decide on certain technicalities and party statutes, and elect its leadership. The meeting can be open to the press and public, or almost completely secret. The only requirement is that the notary can confirm it took place as required by law. Finally comes the greatest bar for entry: the money. Once you have assembled your 200 people, all of you must collectively manage to put forward 27 euros and 3 cents to cover costs for the administrative process.
Let me just go grab my cash from my money tree there.
I know a leprechaun who has a pot of gold. He lives at the end of my street.
Maybe I'll go to a bank and say, hello, do I have an account here?
Call Donald Trump.
And just like that, you're a party. It's really that shrimple. Like I said, immediately after creation, you are free to take part in municipal elections. But only a year later, and with a total of 500 members, can you take part in Saeima elections. Hey Walter, have you ever thought about starting a party? No, because politics are gay.